So is the Internet of Things a fad? Let's find out. This is Jared's Corner. So at the meetup that I run here in Orlando, the Orlando Internet of Things meetup, somebody said to me, I want to hop on this IoT fad while it's still hot. And I laughed a little bit inside, but then I had to ask him what more about it, because he is someone that I wouldn't think would see the Internet of Things as a fad. I don't necessarily see it as a fad, so I probed more into that question. And he said, well, in manufacturing we've been doing this for years. It may not be on the internet, but on intranet and even between systems, between buildings and between cities, we've been taking information and moving it over a network between machines. Machine to machine interfaces is what they were called. And that was a term that was in vogue not so long ago. So I don't think he was impressed with the term Internet of Things. It's become a buzzword. Any machine that talks to the internet is now a part of the Internet of Things, which is somewhat true. But I feel like when you talk to your Nest through your phone, through a visual interface, it doesn't fully represent what the Internet of Things is about. Because in my mind, the eventual goal is machines autonomously talking to other machines. And the idea that that's a fad, that that's something that's going to be going out of style, and that eventually once we get machines talking to other machines, then we're not going to have that happen anymore, and we'll find some new way to do things, I think is misguided. I don't think that maybe the Internet of Things term is a fad, just like machine-to-machine communication might have been a fad at one point, and then it just becomes part of how we discuss what we're doing. So maybe the Internet of Things will be replaced by other terms that describe a very similar concept, like pervasive computing or ubiquitous computing. So the Internet of Things as a fad might be the term, but the actual thing that's happening, where you have machines talking to other machines, that's not going away. That's happening more and more, and for good reason. And so yeah, I think that's my take on it, and I'd love to hear your take on it in the comments, so lay it out there. And if you want to hear more videos about the Internet of Things or some of the other things I talk about here, just subscribe. So yeah, this has been Jared's Corner.